AI team was there to unveil Grok 4.
Grok 4, Grok 4.
Grok 4? Can't bought Grok.
This is the latest artificial intelligence system. We are now at the crossroads where promise and peril are going to collide.
Elon Musk's AI was instructed to analyze the Bible as code, and it immediately detected patterns that should not exist in ancient writing. It found memory structures identical to real eyewitness reports. It found trauma sequences that match modern neuroscience and growth patterns used in biological...
There it is, brothers and sisters. They gotta use AI to do this and do that. AI is their God. Our power is Abi Yahweh, Shah, that bestows on us the knowledge and wisdom of these records. And that video is a little clip. I'm gonna go into a little bit more, but I just want to show you like how they go out there to even go in deep into other things like remote viewing and stuff, which I'm gonna do a video on, to go in back in the past to see, hey, what did Moses do? What did Jeremiah do? And all these other people. You don't see them do that on all the records. There's tons of other records out there. Right? There's the Gita, there's the Quran and all that. They always go after this Bible for some reason. For some reason, they're infatuated with this book that they say is a fairy tale book. But they always want to decode it. They want to see it, right? And I'm going to deep dive in it a little bit more and show you what they actually go into and put up a precept and show you basically the depths in the minds of them. And you should look at yourself as blessed to not have to do all that, to just know that when you keep the Lord's statutes, commandments, the Lord bestows the Spirit of the Lord on you, and you could decode them records. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a huge blessing. I'm going to read this quick scripture. I'm going to deep dive in the video right here from the word of the Lord. Romans 3:3. What advantage then had the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because unto them were committed the oracles of God. Now, what is oracles of God? Let's figure that out for a sec. All right, oracles of God, G3052. We go down. Basically, it talks about the contents of the Mosaic law. So that's why Paul is saying that, because without the law, you cannot do anything. The law gives us life, and the faith in the law and our works what gives us the salvation. Now, when you go back to verse 3, for what if some did not believe? Should their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Whether you believe in the Bible or not, it's not going to change what's happening. As you can see, what's happening on this earth right now. Verse 4, God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. All praises, man. Now we're going to do it a little more in the video, and I'm going to tape it off with another scripture. All right, so there's a fair use act 1976. I got to put it out there because it's in my video.
When the team tied all these findings together, they reached a shocking conclusion. The human memory patterns. The investigation began when researchers programmed Grok to analyze the Bible purely as data structure. The team instructed it to ignore beliefs, religious teachings, and emotional reactions that humans usually attach to the Bible. They told it to analyze the structure of the text the same way it examines source code. Grok scanned the 4 Gospels with pattern detection tools that are normally used to find logic errors in software. The team expected Grok to list mistakes. They expected broken patterns and structural weakness. Instead, Grok returned a shocking result. It said the structure of the Gospels matches the way the human brain records events. The team asked Grok to explain what it meant. Grok showed a breakdown of the narrative flow and pattern density. The system compared these patterns to massive data sets of witness statements, police reports, military debriefings, and trauma logs. These data sets taught Grok how real memory behaves. Human memory does not produce identical reports. Real witnesses always disagree on small details because the brain records events in fragments. Grok said the Gospels follow this same structure. Grok explained that human memory is episodic. Episodic memory means the brain saves experiences in pieces. These pieces include images, emotions, fears, sounds, and reactions. When a person retells an event, The brain rebuilds these pieces into a story. This process creates natural differences between witnesses. Two people can watch the same event and remember different details. This is not a flaw. It is how the brain works. Grok said the differences in the Gospels show this same pattern. The team saw this clearly when Grok examined the resurrection accounts in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Each writer lists different women at the tomb. Matthew names Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. Mark names Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome. Luke adds Joanna and other unnamed women. John mentions only Mary Magdalene. Each account also records different reactions. Some describe fear, others describe shock, and John focuses on Mary's private encounter at the tomb. Grok said these differences match real eyewitness behavior, not fabricated narrative. Critics have used these differences for years to claim the entire story is false. Some have built careers on it. Richard Dawkins, the world's most aggressive critic of religion, pointed to these same passages and said they contain contradictions and cannot be trusted as history. Social media users have repeated his claims for years, with some calling the Bible a funny book made to put fools to sleep. And yet, Grok's conclusion hit the room hard. It said the structure matches real human cognition. It said the writers recorded events the same way the brain naturally processes experience. Nothing looked staged. Nothing looked scripted. If the accounts were invented, why would they follow the exact pattern of real memory? That question stopped the team. But the real threat surfaced moments later. The deeper scan showed narrative patterns that match how the human brain records trauma. The investigation turned darker immediately. Trauma.
They had to pause when it came to trauma, because guess what? Trauma is passed down from generation to generation. And that's another thing too. That's why we understand the Bible, because we understand the trauma of our forefathers. We understand what they did, and we are living it to this very day, right? So don't be dismayed when you seen all happen in the world, because we all know the Lord told us it's going to happen. And there's a little propaganda war what they're doing where throughout the week is like, oh, everything's all good, and then on the weekend you seeing all hail, fire, and storm falling from the sky from all out nonsense. So it's like a weekend thing they're trying to do over there in the Middle East, but it ain't gonna work. They're trying to pass draconian laws to stop us over here from speaking, thought police and emotional police and all that, but that's not gonna work either. Nothing can stop the word of the Lord. The word of the Lord is like a two-edged sword, cutting asunder everything that comes to pass, all right? And not to mention, I love the part where the contradiction comes in, because a lot of people think the Bible contradicts, and a lot of people don't understand the Bible. You have to have the Spirit of the Lord, Spirit of wisdom, Spirit of understanding to decode it, right? Group could do whatever he wants. At the end of the day, you have to have a spiritual understanding. The words in the Bible is consciousness. Consciousness comes from your mind. So when someone speaks words and you read it, you're reading the consciousness of the person. That's why we understand it, because those forefathers and our ancestors that lived, died, and bled so we can get these records, that consciousness, that trauma is in us. That's when we read it, it activates stuff in our mind so we could decode it through the Spirit of the Lord. All right, brothers and sisters, so I just wanted to add that part too. All right, hit y'all with the scripture right here, and I'm going to close it out and see how. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm going to close it out with this scripture right here, Deuteronomy 29 and 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of the law, obey it, sacrifice our time and energy, and wake our people up, man. And I hope y'all got something out of this video. Love y'all. See y'all next time. It's your boy Zacharias. Peace, blessing, multiply upon you. Y'all rock the zoo.